to the last round 1 match. Apologies, but I'm having to set this up on the fly as I had forgotten about this. Sorry, I'm having to manage on the details as I go. But here's, let me see, knockout, sorry. But we're dropping in. Apparently he got found at Granada in Spain versus Pete's setup. And apparently Strider has chosen to be Hunters.
And also here today,
yes, Gyro.
The real star of the show, Captain Gyro. Here, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing tonight?
Thanks for being here, Gyro. I had forgotten that streamer mode. May there be no sound alert to you arriving.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Glad to be here.
One way or another, Strider versus Snuff, Tiebreaker.
A legendary rivalry forming between these two guys.
Oh yeah, they've had lots and lots of. I did tell it to. Okay, apparently Umberlock must have been enabled because I need that to be disabled for my hotkeys to work. But fortunately, you really haven't missed much. So apologies.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about this game, and therefore I've been in something of a rush. But this is the last of the round 1 matches, and then we'll be moving on to the quarterfinals of the tournament. Whoever wins this gets to move on. Simple as that.
Yeah, the tiebreaker match.
Yep. I think there were like 5 clean sweeps in terms of people getting 2-0'd. I don't have.
Yeah, it's like the Hunger Games up in here. People just dropping like flies left and right.
Yep. Yeah, with some upsets, but I won't. But I'll let. If Scottsword chooses to do, I don't know if Scottsword plans to do an in-between round video, however brief yet. So,
Oh yeah, the.
So I best.
The State of the Union address.
So as a result, I shall leave who got what the upsets were to him in the event he decides to counter that, or I can just continue following, and you'll learn about them soon enough.
So what's in Grenada? Do you think he had a hoax?
Considering that there was no rumor token, I suppose rumor token is pointless here because that got discovered when I'm not sure exactly when because I came. You may have got.
I'm pretty sure it was the second spot on the trail. It was the second hideout when he got caught by hired scouts.
So therefore, day 3.
So yeah, he could have still rumored it if he wanted, but
yeah. So.
Why would you?
Yeah, when they know it's there, where it is, and it's simply a even halfway reasonable railway ticket on Seward, plus 1 road move, that's not gonna mature. Almost never.
Rumor token right behind it.
Okay, I can definitely respect that. Like, have it be a hoax. He searches with a stake. He spends his stake, and then he has to face possibly a new vampire, perhaps, at night.
Do you think he's going to wolf form now in hopes that the rumor token matures and clears the wolf form at the optimal time?
I don't know about that. It depends on how he's playing this in terms of how long he's sticking around in Spain, or whether he is, like, trying to, like, go straight out at this point.
I think you should. I think the sooner you get out of there, the better.
I fully agree. In that, I think moving Van Helsing over this early is a bit premature because he could choose to go to C and go up to Britannica. And yeah, that has been seen
Maybe.
before.
But if he goes to C right now, that's kind of not such a bad
Okay,
thing.
gotta adjust you in this voice call because you're just booming in my ears.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Is your stream live? I'm looking for
It should be.
content channel. Stream the content. It hasn't been linked by the bot.
Oh yeah, when it comes to a Twitch stream, that's going live on Twitch tends to take like 10 minutes or so to register on Discord. But hey, you know my channel. You're one of my followers. You should be able to locate it easily enough.
Sure, and I have. Okay, there's somebody in here watching. Cool. Maybe it's Sleepy Mouse from Red Bog.
We shall see. I know that there's more than one who is already caught on, considering that.
Yeah, it's not in the Discord. We got another though.
Yeah, I have a spare monitor that linked to my laptop, and I have my stream manager and creator dashboard there,
Gotcha,
so I can see what's happening in chat and such. So hello everyone. That's just how you do it when you're doing things with Twitch. Since I'm streaming on YouTube with no chat interaction is fine, but on Twitch, I mean, if you're gonna commit to Twitch, you kind of gotta be able to interact with your chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gotta fight the war against the bots, much like Terminator.
Yeah, this is interesting.
The
The fact that he went there and not to Granada is interesting. Also.
But he did go to Granada. Oh, the fact that Dr. Sewer didn't go to Granada. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why he did that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sure, you have some information, but you're just going to have to go back there anyway to deal with the vampire. And if you deal with it now, you might become delayed, and then Granada will mature. But maybe he's thinking like 5D chess, you know? He's like, there's just a saboteur in Granada, and it's going to screw up my whole plan. So instead, I'll ignore it and go to Cadiz first.
I have doubts about that, but... And the fact that it's the second one rumored, it makes me all the more inclined to makes it all the more plausible that it is a hoax.
Or bodyguards.
Either that or bodyguards, yeah. As you just said, bodyguards is the next best thing. For
bodyguards is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good card to mature.
Yeah, and maturing a spy as your first encounter is not like bad either.
No, spy's not too shabby.
Okay, there is.
There's the saboteur on the hide card. That makes sense.
Do we have some doggies?
Dogs?
Indeed we do.
Bark.
There they go.
Get him out of here. Chase him off.
Get the Ultra stuck in your feet.
You love to see it. Oh no! A bunch of terriers.
Ooh, going... Oh boy, I'm not sure...
Hey, it's Dracula!
Okay, I'm not sure about going directly to Saragossa, because, as we are discovering, he could be there.
Yeah,
if
Van
if,
Helsing's
if he
only one
had he
event
had he
here.
had he cut that at Bordeaux, I would consider that a perfectly okay with an
Cut
escape
the
route
escape
is
route.
understandable. You want to see how whether he's doing it as directly as that.
Escape route is really good because if you
Yeah,
get ambushed by the vampire, you can escape from it and still fight Dracula. And who knows, maybe you'll damage him, right? And if
me
he
actually.
tries to like
Whoa,
hit you,
what?
let's say instead of a vampire, he tries to like hit you with a mob
Okay,
instead. Well, you
yeah,
can take the mob and then you can escape from the fight with Dracula that way.
yeah. Here's
So
something I do
it's
not
almost
understand
like a
though.
tiny little mini forewarned when you're landing
Yeah.
on Dracula.
Here's what I don't understand. Mina is showing a. Wait, oh no, that would only gotten her to Bordeaux. I was thinking from him that he could have char carried straight onto Dracula, but claws into Henley
Not quite
Host.
this time. Yeah.
It
There's some damage.
yeah. If he does, if Van Helsing doesn't have a holy circle, then I definitely would have saved the escape route for this, and gone for the reckless instead. I
He is in a fair bit of danger, but keep in mind, it's only the first week, so Dracula will gain only a small number of points for defeating Van Helsing, and he's also not carrying any events.
that is true.
So, serving as the sacrificial lamb here to damage Dracula early could end up being quite useful.
Yeah, I mean he's already gone in 4 damage.
Now, do you pull out a gun? I'd pull out a gun.
I mean,
Holy circle! Yes!
well done.
I'm
That was
out of here.
bold.
Beats don't fail me now.
Yeah, that was worst case, because worst case scenario, the fangs happens first and intercepts the host. That was
Because that saboteur got dogged.
that means
Dr.
that
Seward's not delayed here.
and Mina is
And
showing a
Mina-
horse.
Mina has a horse, and also she could potentially even just take a good train to Saragossa here. So Dracula will be really disinclined to feed.
Yep, and it was an aristocratic
Thanks, the
at
aristocratic.
so
Get rid of
Seward.
that.
Yeah, if he tempts fate too much and he has a renewed vigor already, then this could be a swift and just
Right. If Van Helsing might only be holding on to a stake or something like that, but even so, if he pulls the renewed vigor out and everybody just jumps Dracula, that could be game right there.
yeah. I would not wolf one.
Oh, he's gonna feed. He is.
Oh
gonna do
boy,
it.
that is an extremely bold thing to do. I mean, Van Helsing
That
does
is.
have only 1 item. That is fair. But Seward and
Could
Mina.
still be a good one. You never know. The only thing Dracula has going for him right now is how unprepared they are. They haven't gone through the item deck and gotten all the best items yet. They're low on events. They haven't
considering
really geared themselves up.
considering that we do have 2 other stakes discarded, in the discard pile, that makes me inclined to believe that Goldaming and Mina drew plenty of great stuff. So I would definitely be uneasy as Dracula doing this.
I don't know if I'd be feeding.
Yeah. In all fairness, he could get a fang in to an escape and then
I might have
neutralize
If I
that.
I might have like moved to 1 or to 47 in hopes that
Yeah, I would have.
they'll just say, all right, we hurt him for 4 damage. Let's take that and move on for now and deal with the trail.
I
and we'll
definitely-
catch him later.
I definitely would have taken advantage of the. I agree that I definitely would have taken advantage of the fact that that there are 3. I'm adjacent to 3 ports at this point, so even if I don't wolf form, there's plenty of obfuscation of where I am going.
Right. Good point. And you don't have that much to gain here. It's like I said, you kill Van Helsing. What do you get? You get 2 points.
Yeah.
And he loses 1 item. Whoop-de freaking do. Like,
1 item and 1
I mean,
ticket.
sure, that is a gain. It's not so bad, but it's a risk reward thing. You don't stand to gain that much from it.
Okay, he could have escaped there, but is he
That
even
being
trying
said,
to? That's the question.
At least at least he put down the feed card, which means if he manages to escape as a bat tonight, then he'll be able to feed again. So there is that at least.
That is true. That is true. And that would, and in doing so, not destroy his reckless, like he would have had to do so last night. Okay, so Dracula has now nullified the damage, but the feed card is down. So, assuming that Strider has any common sense, which he does, he will be moving to Barcelona with Van Helsing. Unless maybe he just... perhaps you... oh, hi, Lurkme. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, since he's not jumping into a Seward, he has to move Van Helsing off.
Another Cadiz. Where did he go after Cadiz? He had to go to Madrid. So you know you're safe to move anywhere except Madrid.
Yeah. Okay. So that was.
Oh, he's not just moving one space away. He's like, I'm getting the heck out of here.
Which, that's fair enough.
Run far away. Don't let him wolf form onto you and chase you down and flip the script.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Because, but what I was concerned about was that perhaps that was a white one he was holding on to.
Right. Who doesn't want to lose that?
Yeah. And now, yeah, this is looking very good for Strider. Oh, and Mia discarding a knife now only confirms my suspicions from earlier that they have drawn a hunk of good stuff, possibly even have the third horse, and are on their way to give it to Seward.
Yeah, discarding a knife is very telling.
Yeah, as Rokamania says, no hunting VH.
Yeah, no flipping the script on him. You're not going to hunt us down. Retreat to the safety of Paris. He's using his knowledge that Dracula cannot take the train to his advantage. See? The power of the train.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that since Mia has a horse, so long as he is willing to use them and he has all the glue tickets, which as of yet we have not seen any indication that he is, but moving from Genoa to Marseille is a perfectly normal thing to do.
Bit of a setback that Dracula got back up to max health, but yes. Hey, at least he had to play the feed card instead of putting down an encounter. Yeah,
so you essentially just ripped an encounter.
No, you're trading a heavenly host and an action and some of Van Helsing's health.
And getting to use a holy...
We'll call it a draw for now.
Yeah, and actually getting to use a holy circle. As I see it, it's basically you traded a holy circle for him to have to play the feed card, because obviously, more likely than not, there would have been like a second clause, or he would have healed before the Dawn fight.
Is this everything? Is this renewed vigor too? No, just the speedy. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Snuff is taking advantage, as I said, of the fact that he's adjacent to 3 ports, and that Seward is delayed. On top of that, and of course, Van Helsing is in no shape to fight.
Okay, so he didn't go to Toulouse. That's good.
Yeah, I can't say I completely like that. I mean, I would have definitely, before doing that search, had Van Helsing's apply. Oh, and look what happened anyway.
Womp womp.
Yeah,
I mean, not the most sexy or exciting psychic bond. Especially since it costs you the speedy telegraph. I'm not totally sure about that one. I guess maybe he was hoping, all right, best case scenario, he is there in Gallia, and I can move there and fight him. But what's the point of that?
That would have had
He's
to
at full
be
health.
with that would have had to been along with a renewed vigor, because then Mina was out of
I
actions.
mean, it's just right. It would be just Godalming.
Yeah, unless that one event he has this heroic leap, that then maybe yes.
Yeah, maybe worse in that situation.
Because landing that is always very nice. And that would put Dracula
like a good heroic leap.
Yeah, and that would put Dracula kind of back to square one, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the feed card on the trail.
Yeah, and with enough pressure to the point that he has to go to sea. I don't think that that there's any doubt that he is going to go to sea here.
I think he's gonna move to 8 or 31. I'd move if I was him and I was in 47. I'd move to 31.
I disagree, because while he didn't play the Renewed Vigor here,
Come on, you can't be so cowardly. There's 57 cards left in the event deck.
There are several things to deter you from doing so that I will point out. One, you know Godalming has a horse and therefore can get there, if he were to guess that. Two, Mina has a charred carriage and therefore can get all the way to Madrid in one action.
Yeah, but if you've got bats in Madrid.
Okay, sure, you get to intercept it, but that's only one hunter. And the other two, now that Seward's undelayed, still get to fight you. Just before you get forced out to sea.
Yeah, but maybe Dr. Seward can't get to 31.
I will not say that is impossible, but I think it unlikely.
I mean, and Van Helsing's still at 2. I think worst case, you're really looking at like a 2v1, maybe.
When the feed card is just come off has like just been put down, and and what's more, you are almost certainly going to go out to sea next, then that's just no. You can't afford that. So a 2v1.
I don't entirely disagree. I am sort of just playing the devil's advocate, but at the same time, you know, you want to make as many land moves as possible. The sooner they drive you to sea,
yes,
the worse things are going to be in the long run.
But I think that you should be satisfied with what you have already. You have something unknown in Madrid, and you have a reckless vampire, which, if they don't have the last stake, it's entirely possible they don't, since there's still 15 undrawn items. Okay, he's going for it.
Yeah, I bet he's in 31. Maybe 39? No.
I could conceivably see 8.
8.
If he...
but 8's even riskier.
Yes, but you would imagine that they would overshoot, especially since their means of getting to Lisbon is with the charter carriage, and if they don't do that first, then when are they going to do it?
Yeah, but I'd have been real worried about that. I'd have been thinking if Godalming moves on to 8, like that could be the game right there. I mean, Seward could have sense of emergency.
Okay, so it's not Alicante. Okay. Godalming chose to move directly onto this vampire.
What? Oh, yeah, he checked Alicante to see if he went there after Saragossa. Okay, yeah. I mean...
Okay.
So what?
Oh,
he
boy.
could be in 54 now. He could have gone Barcelona to Toulouse. But I think he's in 31. I think that makes more sense.
Okay, so he's gonna moving to Van Helsing so that she can scan again tonight.
That's a good scan.
That's one I definitely agree with.
You figure out if he's in Toulouse or not, or if he's in Bordeaux.
Well, you know he's not in Toulouse because the Godalming came from there, so it would be he is at Bordeaux or not.
Right. Yeah.
Is he at Bordeaux or no?
great comment from the Peanut Gallery. It's like, yeah, have some courage. Just go to 31, but admits that if it was him, he'd be gone to sea in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yep. It's easy to say it from our seat, but
You got to take some risks, and the sooner you do it, frequently the better off you're gonna be.
yeah, it depends on exactly what risk it is, but
Right.
okay, and since Mina still moved closer, even though it doesn't appear so.
Jonathan Harker in play, revealing Madrid. Didn't even
Yeah.
realize he was in play.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so he did go to Lisbon because he's returned to the lair at Cadiz. Which, I can respect that.
Yeah, that's a good move. You can get some value before you go to sea here.
Yeah, that I can... And the thing is, there was a rumor token there already, so he doesn't have to spend this week's rumor token there.
Ah, because of that rule.
Yeah.
Not one I'm a fan of, but hey, rules are the rules.
Yep.
I don't know if you know this, but they made a house rule to where you can turn that off, and
Yeah.
I don't like to toot my own horn or anything, but that was because I suggested that. You know, that's the Captain Gyro house rule.
Yeah. I suppose you're too much of an elephant to them to ignore.
You mean too much of a titan of the community? That's what you mean to say.
Yeah. It's not, and
So
I'm saying yeah to Rockmanio's comment. Obviously not the most powerful idea, but I like the idea of slowly, methodically putting in work. Yeah.
And you know, Jonathan Harker does have games where he shines.
Early game potential.
We've seen it.
Yeah, there's been many. I've had. There were at least 2 games in the league phase where I got no news here, but I had him. So I at least knew what general direction to go. Even if it meant he still matured his first vampire, I still knew, like, was there a hide card there, for example?
You can have situations where
Planned ambush. So that's his event.
because stomping out the trail one card at a time is typically what you want to do anyway before you catch Dracula. Like your week 1, week 2 stuff, you're just chasing after the trail. And you can have games where Dracula's trail is found in, say, Strasbourg or Nuremberg or Zurich or something like that. And you don't want to waste a bunch of actions just blindly stumbling around to find him. You can have games where Jonathan Harker really helps your efficiency there by just letting you know. And you have the knowledge and the peace of mind that you can just safely supply and not worry about it, because tomorrow he's going to tell you everything you need to know and you can worry about it then.
Yeah, and in any event, that's describing the very thing that Jonathan Harker, if you have him, prevents the very thing that I try to do all the time with my, like, trash trail technique, you know? Like, that's precisely the technique, that's precisely what I try to do.
He punched.
I'm guessing that simply says that he doesn't have a knife, but he wants to get in damage.
Maybe he's trying to trick him into thinking just that. That would be some big brain stuff.
Either that or he's, just doing punch knife. But I do not get that, because the most logical thing for him to do now is mesmerize. I mean, after all...
Yeah, why did he punch?
It's possible he has a gun. There it is. Yeah, I mean, obviously the fangs blocked that. Jonathan Harker, trash collector. Yeah, that... It makes it far... it makes it that even if I can still make them waste... It prevents them from getting a... it neutralizes at least the effectiveness of the myriad of corridors. Like what order do we take these in? Where to go next, sort of thing. But it does not. What it does not prevent is me just laying down a bunch of things like saboteurs and baths, and if they search that, well, they get delayed. So I can still eat away at their times, but not as efficiently as I can if they don't have Harker. At least, or rather, potentially can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's counterplay to him, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're waiting until the last day to get to the card and it's a saboteur, well, then you're not going to be able to get to the next card.
Yeah, and if they didn't have a newspaper to get to the first spot in time in the first place, then you might have a hoax spout to mature a rumored vampire. You might have an unknown or darkness turns to do that from the hoax. So I personally try to stay one card ahead for that reason when a hoax happens. At least when a hoax happens.
You can't move to Granada now.
Definitely not move to Granada, but you could potentially Wolfhorn to Alicante, because they've been dumping heavily hosts. CG is not much of a threat.
Yes. See, now this is where, for all you viewers out there, this is how you play Dracula. You got to really take advantage of all the information that's on the table. And when you look at the discard pile, the fact that they've been letting the heavenly hosts fly, they've been playing them with abandon, that kind of telegraphs to you that your opponent does not have consecrated ground, because if he did, he would be holding on to those things instead of using them. He would be trying to find alternate means, or maybe even just letting you mature the vampire. You really have to. It's not just about like spy, you know. Oh, I played a spy. I get to look at your hand and see everything. That's not all the information that's out there. You have to judge the way your opponent is playing the
I suppose
game.
he is doing it on that very same basis that we were talking. Since they're letting them fly, they can't nuke him.
Sure.
Come get me.
Yeah. So it is Granada. He's doing his best R to win impression.
R to win, or I think of it more as Wakajic than R to win personally, but.
Well, yeah, but if he was Wakajic, he'd be putting his lair in Valona right now or something like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, so the best they could do is block off the two ports and force them to stay force them to have to wolf form to get to a port. That's really all they could do with CG.
It wouldn't be super effective, but
maybe because
you could catch him in a fight.
Because if you stay here in Madrid, he doesn't get to. He's okay. So 1, 2. Okay, no, I get it. He's charter carriaging her down to Alicante to block that off.
Mm-hmm.
This makes it that. What? No.
What?
What?
He doesn't want him to wolf form to. Oh, he's trying to cut off his access to Saragossa as a lair. He doesn't want him to wolf form to Saragossa once it becomes a lair.
A bit disturbing that I had to use charter carriage to do that, though.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate.
Unless that was simply a misclick and he used it by accident.
Little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Nah, she's probably got double white 1 or something like that, or
that
white
was,
1, yellow 1.
That was likely white 1 plus white 1, yellow 1 in her hand.
Yeah, I mean, sieging him now would be a matter of, like, do you have the follow-up? Can you knock him down after that? Otherwise, you just gotta let him do his thing.
Yeah.
This is starting to look pretty good for Dracula right now. If he can just move to Alicante with fog.
Yeah.
then he's going to be leaving behind quite the nasty set of encounters for the hunters to have to deal with. And that could put him in a winning position for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and how many events do we have? And the thing is, look at Goldaming. He has only one item and one event. So,
yeah, I mean,
so they've been burning their strength on the trail.
The other side of the coin is that it's extremely obvious where Dracula is going to be moving to next.
Well,
there's only one possible location.
There's no.
So if you can get there and forewarned the fog, you could have him in an easy 3-on-1.
That being said,
Helsing has chartered carriage. It could even be a 4-on-1.
That being said, the hunters would quite possibly have to settle for a 2-on-1 because Mina is showing her only event as wax cylinders. So unless Van Helsing spends his turn trading to her, then they would have to.
Well, she doesn't need an event to get there.
Well, no, but if he doesn't ambush, and lets Goldaming and Seward come in, or apparently just Seward, then...
Or what if he doesn't even have the fog?
But point being that...
Surely he has it, though.
I would say that probability is good that he has drawn one by now. Whether or not he used it previously is another matter. But what I am really getting at is, if that is a fog, what he is doing is playing that this is a fog. And saying...
Right, you can't move Mina in and the whole party gets fogged,
Yeah. Yeah, and now Saragossa is open for him to move there, if he so chooses. However, now Goldaming has used his ability to get 2 events in one turn. 2 items, sorry.
I find it unlikely he would move to Saragossa because everybody would jump him there.
Yes, I agree.
Unless Mina searches tonight and becomes delayed, or this fight goes really bad and Dr. Seward takes a bunch of damage.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. There's still a lot of unknown quantities in terms of next day. Okay, garlic. So
first turn garlic. I don't know about that.
Well, considering the most obvious openings are Fangs to try to intercept the third Heavenly Host, which Seward is definitely a very likely target for having that, since the only one since Van Helsing and Goldaming already played one apiece, and then so therefore.
I feel like you could dodge.
So he has double garlic.
Double garlic! Let's go! He's invincible! You cannot hurt this man, Dracula.
The only way he can hurt him is by getting hurt back through the claws. So that's
now
why he was...
Now you play your Heavenly Hosts. I had a game similar to this long time ago where Dracula used a spy on me. And I had Dr. Seward in a 1-on-1. Dracula spied me, and I used Lucky Find to grab a second garlic.
Oh, and a crucifix? What? Gracious.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Heard his aggression against him.
Does that hurt him? Does that hurt him? Does that hurt him? And to think, the one who's hunting is the one who made that meme. Yeah, that was indeed a beautiful set for the crucifix. Strength seemingly has no points, so therefore, either it's going to be claws, in which case you missed. Claws would have been the only way that backfired, or Escape's bat.
Right.
And he does indeed, however, have the means to prevent Escape's bat.
But it's over now. He got bit.
Yeah, but it is a overall plus, I would say.
I mean, you didn't want him to escape as a bat there. That much is true. He'd go all the way to Toulouse and then wolf form to Zurich. That would be a pretty bad situation.
I mean, all 3 of those guys, no. We now know Seward's entire hand. 2 garlics, a crucifix and a rifle.
Crucifix and a rifle. Yeah. Never thought I'd hear that.
Oh, that's nasty. Oh.
Let him know.
Okay, so we're trotting around with holy bullets, huh? Okay.
Yeah, good use of information from Snuff. I mean, he's almost certainly sitting on top of a fog, right? So
Yeah, to be sure.
he correctly identified that Mino was not a threat because as soon as she moved in, he could fog her because she's revealing her only event.
Yeah,
also,
he could have feigned a forewarned trade with Van Helsing, admittedly, but
a little bit of gamesmanship might have gone a long way there. It's true.
Yeah, 1 point of damage is still damage.
It's something. But golly, it's he's about to go to sea with a heck of a trail behind him.
I mean, in that case, I would, if I were the hunters here, I would cut my losses. I would clear Lisbon and then cut my losses. Say, that's the end of it. I don't care.
Maybe just let him have it.
Yeah, let him have 7 points and potentially Amelia Hoax, but as well, since.
Yeah, maybe you're.
Oh,
maybe you're.
What do you know?
Oh, good timing for that.
Good old Rufus Smith.
Is it though? I have a feeling he's just gonna wolf form anyway right now. Go straight to 37, 60, maybe 25.
What I am wondering is, will he even wolf form?
I would go to 60. It's a little obvious, but who cares? Like you're gonna go to 60. You're gonna go to 38. You're gonna go to 59. Like, start just making tracks.
I might actually land at CAG. That may seem weird, but that's genuinely what I would do.
Maybe. You could go CAG, Turanian, Venice, but I mean, it's so much slower. But on the plus side, you are putting down potentially another vampire for them to deal with, and if this one goes through, you're going to be glad that there's another one to bring you up to 11 or 10.
Yeah, and what's more, you still have a rumor token to spare, so you can rumor it, so you can have another rumored vampire, so they have to go and get it, no matter what.
But you're going to be giving them a lot of time when you do that. Whereas if you go to 60 and start moving and laying down more trail, that pressure's good. I think in a situation like this where the pressure is already on them, maybe it's a good idea to continue building that pressure up.
Yeah, I think that...
Start laying out a fresh trail ASAP.
I suppose... Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose what I would do is likely just not wolf form, but go to Marseille. As that's just one more... Yeah. Because, as you say, they either had to cut their losses and give you 7 points, in which case you can choose to... wolf form later. Or, if they do not cut their losses, you can just make your way slowly but surely and save the wolf form for when you absolutely need it. Yeah, all 4 hunters are in Iberia is indeed not all good for the hunters. Especially since he is basically just gone to sea. I'm guessing, with how they are behaving, I'm guessing that, yeah, Van Helsing found Seward's horse. That's why he railed down there. So now, Seward is now more of a threat. Because not only will he have traded that, but now you don't know for sure what Seward has. What else did Van Helsing give him?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of obfuscation. Obfuscation goes both ways, you know. Dracula's not the only one who can play that game.
Yeah. Yeah, what we do know for sure is that Van Helsing did take away one of his garlics.
A Pizza Wizard and I were talking about this the other day. You know, going straight to the Mediterranean Sea and wolf forming can be quite nice. And you know, I would probably do that too. The way the situation worked out, I think Snuff has made all the right decisions. However, I think there's some value too in, if you're gonna leave Spain, leave via the South Atlantic instead. And the reason for that is you can move one more sea space and then wolf form. Because oh yeah, look, they found him. See, this is exactly what I'm getting at, is if you go straight to the Mediterranean and wolf form, there's kind of not a lot of figuring out that the hunters have to do. They kind of just are like, okay, well, he's in one of these places. Yeah. Whereas if you go South Atlantic first, yes, you have to move an additional sea zone, but you can go still to the Mediterranean if you want, and then wolf form. But now there's some doubt in their mind. They don't know for sure that that's where you went. You could be in Le Havre. You could be in Paris. You could be in Ireland.
Yeah, it looks as if Strider is agreeing with me and saying that forget about that double spot with a rumor.
Yeah, let's get out of there.
Forget about it. That's beeline for Drac.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
The only fortunate thing for Drac here is, oh, nice chartered carriage.
Yeah.
The only fortunate thing for Drac is, from 60, you've got options, you know. You could go backtrack and do something tricky. You could go to 51. There's going to be some obfuscation available to him here. But yeah, so let's say you go to South Atlantic first and then you move another sea zone. You can potentially bait out the money trail, which is, I think, getting them to use up money trail.
Yeah.
Is actually quite favorable, because then late in the game, when it's, you know, week 3 and Dracula goes to sea to try to close out the game, now they don't have money trail anymore.
That is true. I think that when it comes to Spain start specifically, I think that Mediterranean is better, because then you can either wolf form in and then go to Ionian and go east for your follow-up, because when it comes to Spain start, you have to think about what are you going to do next. Are you simply going to start in Spain but work your way towards the center of the board, or are you going to stick around in Spain as long as you can, go to Med and wolf form in like things like it has been here, more or less.
TG?
I mean,
keep them out of Munich,
and potentially Nuremberg too. That would be whoa.
Yeah. Insert meme where, you know, your opponent is thinking for more than 5 seconds during the dusk or the night phase, and you're like, oh no, here it comes.
Yeah, I'm in danger.
Yeah, seriously. Especially when it's Van Helsing. If they're thinking for more than like 5 seconds, you're like, oh crap. I know what this means.
Okay. There is a debate to be had about whether you
Marseille.
I would have put that at Nuremberg, because that makes it easier
so too.
Because
you're containing him.
Yeah, because
better.
Because that would have, I mean, it means that's because
if he wants to go to Marseille, let him go to Marseille. Like,
yeah.
He's coming closer to you that way. He's becoming even closer to the other hunters, whereas 41...
Yeah, in regards to...
Van Helsing can't get to 41. Van Helsing could get to Marseille.
When it comes to Goldaming when it comes to long term, Nuremberg is better because if you move to Marseille, sure, but keep in mind Mediterranean is still on the trail there.
Exactly. It's
actually there is perhaps one thing to be said for doing this. If you're gonna let Cadiz go, keep in mind that Cadiz is going to remove the Med.
true, and then he'd go to Marseille and put down a fog.
Hide there, since you would think that would be the last place you'd go. It's with having just come from the Med and you being accustomed for that. That being long term, I think. That being said, you can have Stewart or potentially even Van Helsing check that. I suppose Van Helsing doesn't have a ticket, but if he did have a 3-2, he could check that.
Are you saying if he had a good train ticket, he'd be better off?
That if he had a good train ticket on Van Helsing, to get to Marseille, then Nuremberg would 100% be the better pick.
It'd be a different ballgame.
But since he does not, and that means that one of the two who could get to Nuremberg will have to go out of their way to get there, to check that. There is, and it's gonna fall off. Med is gonna fall off. There is something to be said about this. It's potential, and it could be the case that you simply continue, quote unquote, herding him further and further north until he feels so much pressure that he needs to go into the North Sea, and then all the meanwhile Van Helsing and Nina can use the rail lines to close in on England.
Yeah, I mean, just go to Nuremberg.
Yeah, and
don't sweat it.
And look at the ticket pile. There's 12 tickets there. So the thing is barely even possible for them to have all the white ones. Oh.
Here's the RV.
Okay, well that guarantees that they will both be able to jump on you if you're at Nuremberg. Well, it guarantees that they are able to, but they will have to guess correctly. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's Strasbourg check. Or Geneva check. If you had the speed telegraph now, then Seward could have made his first move.
He's not there.
Seward could have made his first move going by normal road to Marseille. Or if you had put it in Nuremberg.
If Van Helsing has sense of emergency, he could get there.
Okay. Yeah, so he's at Geneva.
Oh.
Well, I personally would have moved to Marseille this turn. Oh, lol. No hide. We kind of knew that now.
Speedy telegraph would have been great there. You could have Mina supply for that.
Yeah, Mina could have supplied for that. Okay.
Wax cylinders? Oh, he's not going to jump him. Makes a lot of sense, actually. This makes a lot of sense. He's giving him the old Scott sword strangle.
Yes and no. In the sense that, what are you strangling him with?
Well, he can only... Yeah, I mean, he is going to have a little more freedom of movement here. But if you can get Van Helsing to Paris...
Except that he doesn't have a train ticket. You can't even get him to Bordeaux. The closest you can get is Toulouse.
What did he do with his actions? Oh, he supplied for...
Yeah, evidently the
You could have had Van Helsing's big day, where he uses renewed vigor to supply for a train ticket or to ticket and then take the train on the same day.
Okay, now this, however, that's good. Since you had that train ticket, and you did gamble a little bit. You did gamble a little bit on the horses, but this does. I do like. I think while it's not the
who doesn't
ideal,
like gambling on horses though.
While it is not ideal for the hunters, ideally they would have had a 2-on-1 today, right? But on the other hand,
take your time. Dracula's he can only move to one of 3 places.
Yeah. On the other hand,
and
you have
And if he moves
cornered him, and he can't move to any port without you knowing.
And if he moves to Paris, that could actually be really bad for him. He could end up in a 3-on-1 if they get their train situation worked out.
I mean, in theory, Sewer could have a yellow too, so they could, in theory, all get there. If he chose to...
Horses are...
Oh, wolves?
Horses...
That's...
Wolves on Van Helsing. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Ow.
Horses are the best card in the game, unless you're trying to get to Paris. Paris is so very well connected that horses almost become counterproductive at that point.
Yeah, but regardless, so it was a new vamp, so that means that if Vampire Lair pops up, that will get him back down to 5. It makes that bite point, like, rather inconsequential. In terms of, like, week 4 calculations. I suppose it wouldn't change it, but it would get him closer to Vampire Lair not being able to make a difference. So, obviously a horse. See,
to Paris?
I mean, that depends on what Goldami rolls. Because with the tickets in oh, okay. I would agree that you check Paris because all of the others.
Oh no, he's not checking Paris. I was just about to say it. I was just about to say it. He read his opponent quite well because because Snuff, when he moved to 24 to begin with, that was being sneaky. So he correctly identified the tendencies of his opponent to try to make the sneaky play and avoid the hunters.
Yeah.
CF. What is CF?
That was the one card that would make CF a bad move.
Clement Ferrand.
Clement Ferrand.
Right. He correctly recognized that Snuff is trying to be a sneaky boy and use Central Europe and its many connections to dodge the hunters. And he also realized that Paris would be a really suboptimal move.
Yes, Oricomania. It seems that you're behind in the news when you say that. Strider656 and before the tournament began, Strider656 and Snuffleupagus were practicing with each other non-stop, so it is well known that Strider was unhappy with rolling Snuff as his opponent. It is since he is one might say something of a crybaby. He was very vocal about it in Discord.
Also, there's a bit of a lesser-known rail connection between Milan and Strasbourg that Dr. Seward could have taken advantage of. And with Mina's fast horses, that could have been an easy 3-on-1.
Yeah.
So I think Snuff actually was really smart to go to 15, and Strider even smarter to recognize that that was sort of the correct move.
Well, I would say that next to Snuff, I am one of the players who's next to Snuff and Sky, I am probably the third. I'm probably amongst. I would probably say that in terms of, at least in terms of tournament games, I have definitely played the most. Alongside Sky, I faced him twice. While Sky faced him 3 times in last year's league, I faced him twice. So he and I know each other well, know our ways well, and due to that, he is well attuned to how to spot things. Since you know me, I always do all sorts of weird things.
A very underrated skill in this game is reading the opponent and reading the opponent's tendencies. And yes, when you play someone a lot, there's an element of remembering the past games that they've played as well. But
oh, nice.
Even
good call.
Even within the one single game, you can identify what the your opponent has been doing throughout the course of the game and potentially use that knowledge against them.
Yeah.
It actually really rings true to the actual novel, wherein the hunters were able to predict Dracula's plans to return to his homeland based on like what they knew about him and how his behavioral patterns worked and the way his mind worked.
Okay. Ooh. So this, unless another renewed vigor is in play, no. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And
That's unfortunate.
and there is already the semi. There's the like semi blow that's Goldaming in order to get it away with only 2 damage. There, he had to reveal that he had a knife.
Right.
But at this point, with only 2 items left on the deck, of course he does.
This is tense because if Seward had got there, everything would maybe be totally different with the 3-on-1.
Yeah.
But
there's
with
such
just
a
the
major
2-on-1,
difference.
there's a lot of possibilities here for both Dracula
Yeah.
and the hunters.
Yeah, Strider and I know each other well. So I would have been. And what's more, Strider and I mean, Strider and I are alike in so many different ways. While he doesn't, in the sense that we both, we favor Dracula in terms of like what we prefer to do, but also the fact that we are both very high experts in combat. Okay, Vampire Lair now won't do a thing unless he gets another single point. What? Okay.
Well, this will be interesting. Any event. Any Lucy's Revenge here would be nice. Oh, I saw the LU and I thought for sure it was Lucy's Revenge, but it's Lucy's
Lucky Find. I mean, that the last one could still be that.
Discarding the horses.
Okay, we're in
He's
hard.
pushing all his chips forward.
Yeah, this is an all-in play here, because Dracula can go and lay down a fog. And the thing is that Lucky Find reshuffled the deck, so whatever his choice was, it can't have been all that great. Well, it doesn't have to be all that great to be better than what he had discarded, which is dogs, garlic wreath, garlic, and steak apart from the horse.
See if it would make the difference. And Mina with her pistol and holy bullets still, perhaps.
We don't know that for sure, but it is definitely something for Snuff to be wary of. In fact, we know that Mina discarded the pistol at some point. I know that.
She never traded with Dr. Seward, so she wouldn't have the crucifix,
Plotting.
so Mesmerize could be solid. Into the pistol!
Pistol? Wow. That is not one you see often.
You're gonna have your villain monologue? Well, fine, I shoot him. Now, does the plotting mean a weak hand here? Is that what we're sniffing out?
I think it could be trying to set up a kill against Mia via bite.
Yeah, this is a no plotting zone right here. Plotting prohibited beyond this point.
Yeah, if Dracula survives this without taking a huge sum of damage, he will have a massive.
He'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, because, and of course, if Dracula makes a single kill here, it's game, because that the 2 points from that from the ambushes from the vampire, got him just in range of 1 kill equals win. So this
Righty has 9 points. That's significant. Mesmerize here.
Strength into rifle.
The rifle. Ooh.
That could, and if she still does have those holy bullets we were talking about, then she is now completely disarmed.
There's the knife.
Okay.
Stabby, stabby.
So, had they already done enough for it to have been worth it? Do you try to escape while he still cannot kill?
It's a tough call, because if he mesmerizes you, you still got one hunter trapped in the fight.
Yeah, it is a tough call. Fangs into escape. Alright.
Oh no, that's not good.
Okay, so he's at 10. So far he's lost. He's net lost 4. But
Godalming's making a stand.
Yep, Godalming is making a stand. So that meant that was the draw. In the long haul of the battle.
You gotta play the knife, right?
Yeah, you cannot afford to let him get away his bat. Now, with that in mind, he may choose to go strength.
Right, exactly.
Or at the very least, Nez, and that's 3 cards that are unaccounted for. Since of that, he's only played 1 strength so far.
But he might not have it.
It is true.
Maybe it's worth just rolling the dice, because he could just be in a situation where he really he can't even play it. And he's got to escape as a bat, or maybe claw you or something.
Or just cut his losses and do mist instead.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as Dracula, you gotta try to, especially now that it's 1-on-1. I think that we are right that she still has the bullets, and that's why Strider chose to escape with her, because she was effectively useless. Had no anti-escape bats. Had nothing. She had literally nothing that she could hit him with. That's why she
lost the pistol. Then she replaced it with a rifle.
She replaced it with the rifle. Is what happened. She did supply 1 time during the renewed vigor, and she did discard the pistol then.
He's having himself a think.
Yeah, because if he gets knifed, because he knows that there's a knife. Strider has skillfully timed his play of the knife before when he'll have it available again.
No, save it for the escape round.
Okay, escape is missed.
Missed.
Okay,
that's the best of all worlds, I think, for the hunters right now. He's forced to just
best of all worlds
stay in place.
Best of all worlds he tries to fang, actually.
Okay,
But
that would still leave you wondering if he's gonna play bat in the next round.
Yes, but it's possible that he does fangs, like hoping on the off chance you don't do the knife, and you instead have a heavenly host lurking me from the lucky find that the third heavenly host was at the very bottom of the deck. On the off chance that was the case, that could have been what was happening.
Oh well, I'll settle for that. Yeah, I think Drax in a tough spot now.
On the other hand, he is building trail. That's now a renewed vampire, a reckless.
But what does that
Zurich.
matter though? What does that matter though if they kill him tomorrow?
I mean, at this point, it is down in the 0.1 percentages for him to not have fog right now, unless he played one earlier. If he has not yet played a fog, it's still possible that he doesn't have one, and he hasn't had one all game, but that is exceedingly unlikely.
Well, there was probably one in Alicante.
That is fair.
So that would leave him with one more. Or it's left within those last 2 cards in the pile. So...
yeah. It is true that the hunters don't have much... It is true, over command, that the hunters don't have much left in the tank. But the thing is, Dracula, since that wasn't an escapist badge and its escapist miss instead, he's still right next to you. When he moves, he will still be right next to you, no matter where he goes. And you know that he cannot go to Geneva. I may have misdirected the new vampire personally, given.
Yeah.
Okay, making that
rumor token.
Okay, making that be another one that will just kill them.
I tend to agree with you. I may have misdirected that one as well, because now there's just 42, 54, 39, and that's it. And I mean, you've got 4 hunters, so you can get him with somebody. I don't know that you want to, because he still has health left. You want to at least get the 2-on-1.
If he has a...
Come on, big two. Go to Knot. He's got to be there.
And if... Yep, okay, so we've got a 3-on-1. But the thing is, what does Mia really contribute? In fact, I would say don't move her in. Send her to Bordeaux and have her continue blocking that off.
Send Van Helsing in.
Yeah. But Van Helsing got clobbered as well, so, and therefore Dracula knows he doesn't have a weapon, so he'll just claw him. He knows he doesn't have a gun.
But you gotta try something. Right? Like, Dr. Seward can't handle him on his own. Maybe you can dodge the claws. Maybe he won't draw claws, and he'll try to fang you and hit him with a crucifix or something.
Potentially, there is one thing that might have been drawn, because Seward has been getting stuff.
It's the fog.
No, doesn't matter. But I was going to say that there is still Heroic Leap out. And then if he goes to sea...
could be kicking around.
And if he goes to sea, really all that achieves for him is gets him to Ireland. In this particular scenario.
Now he's going to feed. Oh, this is starting to look back in Dracula's favor again.
Yep.
Quite the tug of war, this game.
Yeah, this is bad. And that vampire lair doesn't mean anything.
And you're going to have to deal with Geneva. And Clement Ferron.
And there's also still Zurich. Let's not rule that out. That could be an aristocratic or another reckless. Or no, it can't be another reckless, but there's still a good number of aristocratics unaccounted for. But I will say that chances are high that that's what's in the lair at Saragossa, because countless hunters stepped there and none of them got ambushed. So
don't lair aristocratics. They're too good.
It happens all the time.
Like that. Yeah, but it's a mistake. That's what I'm saying. Aristocratics are your bread and butter, man. They're sure it's not as sexy as a fog or a nice juicy saboteur, but aristocratics. I mean, there's a reason there's 3 of them in the deck. Like, they're one of your staple cards. I don't think they're worth tossing out in a lair just to cycle your hand a little better. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule, so that's not always the case, but I think aristocratics are one of the most underutilized cards by most Dracula players.
Yeah.
Leaving the hunters delayed or threatening them with 4 points, both are terrific outcomes.
Or at the very least, yeah, he is saying that you've won, which that's not necessarily true. If you can muster enough stakes, and then perhaps excellent weather can track him down just in time. If he goes for Pirate Drac,
there's a chance, but it's slim. But there is a chance.
I mean, the thing is, if he moves,
you do have Rufus still.
Yeah. But
is this downfall of Strider656?
He's saying he can't win, but you still have 1 day. There's a lot of time left. Actually, that's not all that true, Snuff. You only need to make 3 more moves by sea, which admittedly is suffering 6 damage. And then like say go South Mediterranean, and then land at CAG, since there's no CG to air you with that, and then you can hide for the final blow. Or alternatively, when they try to remove the element from Reckless, you get 1 more point. Alternatively. For Strider to have much of a chance, he's gotta like put to sea immediately. I think that... Oh, so Van Helsing is at least claiming to have the stake. It's entirely possible that he could have a holy circle to evade giving him an ambush point.
It's a critical point right now.
Yeah, that... But if that happens, we do have Vampire Lair hanging around. We do know that. But that also requires a stake. Strength into Crucifix.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Normally that would hit in a reckless ambush. But here the vampires are going to play utterly defensive. Gonna do strength every time they can.
Yep. Yeah, might have even had a bum hand.
Oh, got it.
Okay. That'll kill it at least.
So no ambush point. That is important.
Die, monster. You top-hatted fiend.
Yeah, but that still leaves the question: what is in Geneva? Or Zurich? If it is a vampire, it has to be an aristocratic, because at this point that Geneva vamp is the very last fighter vamp, so it's not a fighting vamp. You know that. Saboteur, or my guess personally is aristocratic, because you would have to guess that
mob yet.
because let's remember that when he originally wolf formed there, he was in the mindset of let's begin a new trail and head east, but then CG got dropped, cut him off. So therefore, in that mindset, I would definitely drop an aristocratic, either that or a soil, as a way to like get better horse encounter economy once you've dropped stuff. Later, when they are starting to catch up with you, either that or just post sea healing. You know, we've only seen one soil. Okay, has a stake. It was a hoax. Okay, but now, you can gang up on the new vampire.
Yeah, you can 2-on-1 it while Seward and Godalming chase Dracula, maybe.
Well, Van Helsing is in no shape. He is at 1 HP. The slightest hit and he's dead.
Damn.
Unless you have great strength. So that is, if anything, I would do Godalming and Van Helsing. Have Mina cover North Sea angle while Seward gives chase. Reason, of course, being that Godalming, you might care to recall, discarded his horse from the Lucky Find. So, I would definitely
horsey now.
I would definitely move 1C. To be honest, since you know there's no CG, I would just go Irish Sea. Just go over England where you won't be pounced on by excellent weather. Yeah, go to the part of England where you'll be safe from an excellent weather RV. So that is why Seward needs to give chase immediately, from here. Yet he has to be move to North Atlantic so he can be at the ready to go anywhere. Yeah, Strider knows what he needs to do to have any chance whatsoever.
Gotta kill this thing, otherwise you're just surrendering.
I mean, he doesn't think
look
he can
good,
win.
but you might as well try.
Oh, that is huge. Because now there's no... It is the channel. Okay.
Saturday channel. Saturday night, he's in Swansea. Sunday night.
Why even bother going to Swansea? I would go to Manchester.
Yeah,
I would go to Manchester in this case.
Heck, you could just land in London.
Yeah, if you must do it, there is the hazard of a renewed vigor plus Seward having an excellent weather in London, and then a heroic leap will nearly finish you off.
Well thought out. Yeah, good point.
And obviously,
but if he's
not holding enough cards to have all of that yet. But
that's why you never tell your opponent GG early just because you're in a bad spot. You can affect your opponent's decision making if they think there's still a chance for you to win.
Okay, so Glowing found the stake to get rid of it. No need for 2-on-1.
Die, you horrible lady.
Okay, so on the one thing, Strider still has a couple days to position for the last day surge. The best thing for him to have would be an excellent weather and heroic leap. If he's
you have to have a renewed vigor too.
Well, not necessarily, because even though he's gonna land, he's not scoring points yet. Let's not forget that. It's still
time.
And with all of the fighter vamps in the discard, you know that there will be 0 fighter vamps. At least at first. Unless, that is, he stays out at sea one last time and goes North Sea. So you know that...
Why? Yeah, no, just land. No reason to...
Yeah, so you know that card there is not... If it is a vampire, it's an aristocratic. Because...
I guess you could go to North Sea because it would obfuscate between Edinburgh and Germany. That could have been a play.
Also, it helps, it does also... Well, I think that he's going to have to put all his eggs in one basket regardless of whether he landed or not. But obviously, now Seward moves to Le Havre. Any part of either that or goes to sea immediately. And then if they have excellent weather and renewed vigor, number 2, then they have a chance. Slim, but a chance. Yeah. Yep, this is the sort of time where you gotta do this. You got a night supply. Man, shame.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to. If you don't have the excellent weather, then you really have no choice. You got a night supply.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. This is quite a tiebreaker match, to be sure. So.
Yeah, this has been a real slobber knocker. I think it's a little bit decided now at this point.
Not quite. It's not quite yet.
A little bit decided. It's not etched in stone, but
especially since
I don't really see them turning this around.
Especially since if they have renewed vigor and excellent weather now, they could still yet kill him just as week 4 comes before he scores any points from it. But if on top of everything else, Seward has Heroic Leap to start things off, or follow it up.
But if you have those cards, you're not night supplying.
I mean, okay, well, what if he has them now? What if he found them
Well, he
this
drew a
night?
Dracula event, and then Van Helsing drew something, but he still has to trade it. So unless he has Speedy Telegraph, then Van Helsing can't trade to Seward. So he can
unless it's the Renewed Vigor part of the equation.
Okay, yeah. Seward already has Excellent Weather. Van Helsing drew a new Renewed Vigor.
Long Night. Actually, that is quite relevant. If Seward has the Excellent Weather, they'll let him penetrate deeper into Spain, into Britannia. And, yep, there's the Excellent Weather. So, well, honestly, if you have the Forewarned, do it.
Yeah, forewarn those bats.
Yeah. Behind the Veil.
Somebody told me about all those
It's
bats.
custom search. And what's more, he has no fog in hand, so you may be helping him, but take out the new vamp. Oh, yeah, I suppose that is the best ambush thing, especially since you just used the Forewarned. Since you
increase Seward's odds in the fight, yeah.
Yeah, at least you now know that that is not Unearthly Swiftness. So there, if that had been Unearthly Swiftness or Darkness Returns, it would indeed be game over. But now he will have to. But now he will have to do a 50-50 guess to try to prevent the hide. A possibility. Oh, I would have had him move to try to prevent the hide. Okay, fair enough, yeah. It's rail that's useful up here.
That's an event.
Okay. Oh, okay. This...
Maybe that was a little overzealous.
Yeah, I think... Because now, especially since just after Behind the Veil, you know that it is not one that kills you yet. So why risk one that would kill you?
Now, if he's really clever, he's in Plymouth, right? And then he can hide and misdirect London for game.
Yeah.
Or even wolf form. That would be a very saucy move.
Yeah, so you supply with everyone else. Do a surprising return if you have it, obviously. And probably should have done that before. Okay, Speedy Telegraph, that's good. Long Night.
I mean, if I was him, I'd be in 19. Okay, second Long Night, that's no help.
I personally would be a first at Manchester to make that believable, and then go to a... Come on. How many scouts have we had?
1932. I guess there's really no difference.
There's two... Okay, oh, there's... yeah, that.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is only... there are still 2 copies of this left. Okay, this...
Check 1932.
Alright. Yeah, this will tell you a lot. I would check Plymouth and Edinburgh, personally.
Yeah, tough call, because he could be hiding just about anywhere.
Yeah. Really searching
He's thinking about it, yeah.
I would have one of them be a spot next to Seward, and another, because that will tell you, that will help you narrow down where he went first. And then after that, pick one other spot. I would go Swansea and Edinburgh, if I'm being honest. Because if he went to Swansea... Oh.
Uh-oh. Come on, don't do this game.
Click the region first? First? Try clicking the region first. Sometimes with England can be a bit wonky that way. I have had it do that to me before. where sometimes in England you have to actually select the region. Manchester and Liverpool.
They didn't find him.
Well, that means that he's either hiding at but that narrows it down to he's hiding. We now know that. But the question is if
is he hiding in 52 or is he hiding in 43?
We're just gonna have to make the guess.
Oh, it's 52!
Alright. We found him.
Dr. Seward's bitten, too.
Okay, high card is that the fog?
Chances are pretty low, but it is possible.
Yep,
Yeah,
it all comes down to
this is exciting. I mean, the odds are certainly against Strider here, but it's not completely out of the question that he could snatch victory from the fangs of defeat.
It isn't. Okay, and that's basically as well as you could expect for the combat with the new vampire.
Yeah, I'll take it. Your claws and you're out. Yeah, I'll take that and run.
Yeah, the question is, what? It's the fog. Does he have second forewarned?
Oh, no! Oh, that's such a shame. You hate to see that.
Lol.
There's a newspaper report.
GG will play both.
Bummer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it played out that way. Because, that was just about to get really exciting.
Yeah.
I have my whole seat here, but I really only needed the edge of it.
Yeah. Twilight struggle strat? Okay.
Yeah, shame that behind the veil kind of ended up biting him in the butt. I mean, nothing you can do about that.
Okay,
he just got flat out lucky.
Apparently he is correct. Apparently he is, we are correct that that there was a fog somewhere along the way, before, because Snuff is commenting reshuffle your fogs.
That's a 1 in 15 chance that he was going to draw that.
Yeah.
It's a 1 out of 15 chance. That is insane.
Devilish power? Lol.
Highly fortunate for Drac.
And he found...
But, I mean, hey, he still had 7 health left. There still would have been a battle. It's not like if he didn't draw the fog, it was Strider's game for sure. But you never know. I mean, he might have shoved a host down his throat and knifed him, and that's game.
Holy bullets.
Right? Holy bullets could have sealed the deal together with a knife.
Planned ambush. Even a planned ambush could have done a lot, especially in a 1v1 fight.
That game was worthy to go out on.
Yeah.
Strider. You done good, partner. You did your best.
First game in chat. First game. I'll invite them in as is my typical custom.
As of course is tradition. There's that smiling Bela Lugosi on the end screen. All right, I'm gonna take off.
All right.
I'll listen to the chat though.
Yeah.
Hear what they got to say, but yeah, I gotta go stretch my legs.
Okay.
It's a long game.
Thanks for coming, Gyro.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Especially on such short notice.
I had a great time. No, not at all. I had an awesome time. Really good game. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Fangs. I thought you said hey, Snuff, which is I don't know why I didn't totally say hey, Fangs there, but whatever. But in any event,
yeah.
hey.
I don't know where my brain was going.
Snuff.
I said Foff like Fangs of Fire.
Okay.
What up? What up?
Hein, Geo well played. Well done. Very tight. If Sir had the second forewarned.
It was the third for one because I did have one in Alicante, as Strider assuredly knew. So I got
said
that.
I said if he had the second forewarned, not fog.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I was worried about that, and if I could have, I would have put down like a mob or something instead of the vamp.
But
I didn't
behind the
have
veil
anything that-
happened.
Well, behind the veil, I drew that fog.
You drew the
then
fog
played it
from
a
it.
No, I drew the fog before behind the veil, right before it, right when I landed in London and played the bats, right? And then
Okay.
I drew the fog and played it immediately. I thought about playing the vamp and then hiding under fog, which I guess would also have worked, but I played it wouldn't have worked because of the behind the veil. So I
Yeah.
was thinking about it. I thought about doing vamp then fog, but I played the fog immediately. Behind the veil came
Yeah,
and then
at that
take the vamp.
Yeah, at that stage of the game,
The
it
fog.
doesn't matter. All you're thinking about is survival. The vampire doesn't matter one bit, whether it's the hide
So-
card or not.
Bingo. So anyway, I played the fog immediately, and if I had a mob that might bait out the second forewarned, if he had it, I would have played it and triggered it first. But I didn't. The only thing I could have put down under the hide that would have been relevant and cancelable with forewarned would be like a rats. Otherwise, I just had the fighter vamp. I had a saboteur, which didn't matter. I had the soil. So I was like, he probably won't forewarn to rats. So just play the vamp, do some damage, and if he does have double forewarned, just have to take the fight. But he didn't have the double forewarned, so
Yeah, one way or another. And congrats on making it through to the quarterfinals. You
Yeah, I
battle
gotta say,
onwards after
I
your
have to say,
initial struggle.
yeah, I have to say, I think my wins against Strider were more luck than talent, TBH. No, like 75-25 luck versus talent. And my fail against Inverse Hunters was all lack of talent. But whatever, there's always going to be some mix of luck and skill in any of these, so we'll take what you can get.
Yeah, the Dracula. It's time for Dracula wins to come down stuff so that we can make it the Dracula's tournament to be more than 50%.
Isn't that funny? He's having a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Scott Sword said. It's not it like Scott Sword said many times that it wasn't so much of bad of good hunter play as it was bad Drac play that was restraining him. But with just enough people winning as Drac to get him some wins,
Yeah.
But
It's funny. This game really did kind of like reflect us kind of knowing how each other works.
yes, we were talking about that with the sense of emergency to Colonel Ferrand. How he caught you there. But I think that
after
the game.
calling Zurich
I think
with his surprising return.
I think that the game really crashed there in that day. The fact that Sword rolled slow and couldn't reach you for a 3-on-1 instead of a 2-on-1, which you got out of the 2-on-1 with 8. A 3v1? Yeah, you're gonna take at the very least, like 5-6 more damage-ish in that time frame.
Well, yeah, it'd be real close. You're right, and then I'd be
Even in
certainly
2
on the
rounds, even within 2 rounds, you would have been down to probably like 2 HP, like 3 at best. I suppose with
I don't
no
think I would
Haley
have played any
hosts.
different. I don't think I would have played any different because I would have assumed that he's still the same stuff he had as I fought him in Alicante, which would be garlic, crucifix, gun.
Well, you would have been playing very short attention in that case if you were assuming that. If you would assume that, because directly after that, when you were in the med, Seward moved to Saragossa and then Helsing railed down to give him the horse, right?
Oh, that's right.
So
he would've given him something else.
right off the bat, things got mixed around somewhat. And then secondly, he supplied at Milan for a day before that you were at Clonferrand.
True.
So a lot of things could have changed. A lot.
The other thing, though, I will say when we're talking about the Saragossa, I was so close to putting a bat there, and I didn't. I just threw an aristocratic there in the lair, and I was really kicking
I
myself.
figured as much.
Because I was thinking, they'll probably just avoid it. People always avoid the lair. And Saragossa is so easy to jump over from Madrid to Toulouse or go around. So I just said, I'll put in aristocratic. And I'm so mad because I could have at least triggered it on somebody and slowed the hunters down, which would have been great.
Yeah, I think that since you knew that Seward didn't have a horse yet at the time, that putting down a bats definitely would have been far more likely to succeed than usual.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that Strider just isn't coming. But I mind sending him a DM about that. But
no, I'm not going to send him a DM. He is fully aware of how to join if he wants to.
Yeah.
You don't need to DM him. I'm not going to DM him.
Fair enough. And I can't say I blame him. He'd been doing so well up until round 8, where he faced off against Wakajic, and now he lost twice there. So until from having started out with having a flawless 8-0, at first it's got to be real frustrating for him. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
As it was not until round 5 that he finally got a loss in the league phase, and then all of a sudden things started crashing down. In round 5 he finally took his first loss, but since it was a 1-1, he didn't especially mind. For anyone curious, that was me. That's where that happened, but.
No kidding.
But, and then, let me see, round 6 and 7, I don't recall exactly what happened, but I know that he was sitting at 2 losses at the end of round 7, and then Wakajic dealt him 2 more, hence why he ended up where he is, or where he was.
He had a really good tournament.
Yeah.
He had a really good tournament.
He had, I also had a very good league phase. I mean, I think that you were commenting along with Scott Sword for that video, right? That doubleheader MG and I had for the 8th round.
Might have, but I can't say I remember off the top of my head. But
well, it was
sorry.
It was a good one, but that's besides the point. But it's still the point. I suppose it's to the point that he and I had both had good lead phase, because at that point, both Mr. Green and I decided to say, you know what, whatever. We already have more than enough wins secured, no matter what happens. So let's YOLO in the game that we are Dracula, and that's what ended up happening. Is just goofy stuff happening. It was fun, but and then
let me try to think if there's anything else interesting about this game and about the scope of the tournament here. I am really happy in this one that I kind of timed leaving Spain fairly well, I think.
Yeah,
I think
that was...
I kind of gauged the hunter's lack of strength well and timed it right.
Yes.
And then I also think I did a good job in triggering the fog against Seward when I did in Nantes. I mean, that's kind of luck, but I mean, I'll take it. I guess I was thinking, right, okay, he might have had... I was spending a lot of time on that move because I was thinking, okay, he might have had fog in Alicante, and that's why he felt comfortable going there with Seward. But then I was thinking, well, given what he had at that time, he would have felt comfortable going there anyway, so maybe he doesn't have the forewarned, and the hunters haven't supplied that much, so let's just roll the dice and trigger the fog, and it happened to work out.
Yeah, it... I will say that your trail was perhaps not the optimal time to... That it was not perhaps 100% the optimal timing, but I suppose with how things, how you got revealed early, it was the best you could do. I agree that it was the best you could do, but
What wasn't the optimal time?
there was one, it was not the most optimal in the sense that rumor token wiped away anything, and that allowed them to just say, whatever, take your points, and it just bail on the whole rest and chase after you immediately. That's, well,
You're talking about the play of the first fog?
I was talking about the sea timing, because when you went to the Mediterranean, I think that possibly staying there and hiding one more day, if you're sitting on a fog and possibly trying to whittle them down a little bit more, since you saw that Stewart had only defensive stuff, so then you just play defensive for the dawn fight, and let more come, and then pop the fog on them, if that's what you were sitting on, Nalicante.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think that might have been worth
well,
it, or because
yeah, and
for the reason
I
that
did think about it.
for the reason that way there would have been a little bit. They would have had a little bit, like they might have jumped on the runner token first before then, potentially.
So,
It
I see your point.
very
and I
minor
did
difference,
think-
but
okay.
very minor difference, and I agree that doesn't matter much, but
So
in the
let
grand
me-
picture.
Let me talk a little bit about my thinking in that. So I was thinking about that approach, because I did see a lot of weak hunters around me. But I think at that point, Mina had just come to Saragossa, and so was threatening. And yes, I was under fog, right? But like, there could have been a forewarned, and even if there wasn't, like, there was some threat. And if let's assume that there wasn't, and I was under no threat whatsoever.
Well,
I-
Mia had only waxed cylinders
I-
as her only event and showing.
So the end of that sentence was going to be that I still saw an advantage in leaving that and starting to create a trail and creating a windy path in the middle of the map. But the fact, and I almost was thinking like, well, he has such a weak CG. Let's just like wolf to Genoa and go down the boot. Then I was like, well, I want to create a guessing game, so maybe do a space that has more possible routes. I was like, let's do Zurich. I really did not expect him to play Surprising Return when he did, and just drop it on Zurich. Because I almost didn't go there. So I will say that was really bold of him, and it almost worked. And so I give Strider a lot of credit for that ballsy play, and like that just really predicted what I was doing effectively.
I'm not surprised. I was not surprised to see the Surprising Return get played, because when you see a wolf form, especially a wolf form hideout, wolf form, you definitely want to see just how you definitely want to check Zurich for it, since that's the worst case scenario in that situation, and that's the farthest away he can be, and because you want to know sooner rather than later in case it's a fake wolf on the CAG play. Gyro made a good point to the effect that that's why it is sometimes better to go to go south, leave into South Atlantic first, rather than and then go to Med after. But I'm given how Rufus Smith appeared just when you were in the Med, I think ultimately it really didn't. In this case, didn't matter. In this particular case, it didn't matter. But in this, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I still think it was pretty bold and impressive to ping Zurich. I know it's the worst case scenario. There's so many other reasonable places to go, and it's not. I really almost did go to some other ones, but I'm guessing that he's played me enough that he knows that when I have a situation where I think the hunters lack movement, I tend to go for the furthest place. And so with that particular scenario, it makes more sense that I did
Yeah,
Zurich.
it's
So I respect the guess,
if you wanted
even
to
though it
do
was fairly
something,
risky.
if you wanted to go for a mix, you could have done Milan.
And I almost did. But I was thinking,
I
well,
because
there's more than a guessing game after Zurich, so I just second guessed myself. I did think about it.
yeah, I think that the safe bet
I
is
would
that
say surprising return for a time where there are fewer options, right? Because there, obviously, there's a million theoretical options from wolfing from bed, and then there's maybe like what, 4 or 5 reasonable options. I feel like I normally like use that when once you've already narrowed it down somewhat.
if you would let
You
me
know,
say a bit more than instead of interjecting like after me having a couple, like one or 2 seconds, allow me to explain why that's not the case and why it's not surprising. It is there are really only there's only Zurich, Milan, and Genoa when you in that particular circumstance because Mina is already Mina can. Because it is perfectly within reason, considering that she was at Santander to simply meet with someone at Bordeaux, scan France, and oops, that's those ones checked off the list. So it's not as many as you think. Is my point. It's just
I would say
it's not
4 or
it's just
5.
yes, and yet all of them are in Italy, and Zurich is the most difficult one to get to. So therefore, it's simply the logical choice to pick with surprising return, and therefore it's more or less the same, like as when you there's a wolf form from say North Sea, but you still do it, don't you? Like you use every bit of intel you want every bit of intel you can get, especially when you are consenting to give Dracula 6 or 7 points like that.
I think we probably said enough on this particular point. I kind of stand by the considerations.
Oh. I suppose all things considered, I'm saying I fully understand why Strider did, and I for one think it was a good idea. I agree to disagree if you think otherwise, but otherwise, again, congrats on breaking through to the quarterfinals. You'll be up against Arternum. We'll see if you can do what I could not.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I've only played him once. It was in the casual game, and I don't remember. I know he beat me, and I was kind of surprised because he was new and I knew nothing about him.
He's strong. He's definitely stronger than your average newcomer.
Yeah, so I think it'll be challenging. I'm excited to see what happens. I came in really wanting to play people I hadn't played.
Yeah,
before.
the only reason I lost him as hunters is because I was very careless and made one stupid blunder. Had I not done that, I would have pushed to game 3. And depending on exactly what happened in terms of IDS, then perhaps we would have seen what would happen. But one way or another, just play as you normally would, and you at least stand a chance. It'll be just like it'll be a new acquaintance, since it'll be like a practically a new acquaintance. In this case, in that sense, it'll be just like you are playing a friendly match, as if you are training them for the tournament. Except now that it's the real thing. That's really all it is. There's nothing. You don't have to do anything fancy. He in other words, he's not another Spencer Wolf or Wakajic. Also,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about that.
I came into this tournament really hoping to play some people I hadn't played before, and I was excited with all the new people that were here, and I ended up only matching up with one new person. Hard to win. So,
yeah.
and I would say that, and there were a couple of people who are not new people that I still have never played before. I think Mr. Green and maybe I think Chipko. So I would count them as well. So maybe going into the tournament, 7 people. So I'm really happy to have the opportunity to play someone else who's new who I haven't played before. And who knows, maybe if I go on far enough, I'll get the chance to play Mr. Green. And that'll be another new to me person.
Well,
So,
he'll have to break through
it's always
Pizza
fun
Wizard
to-
for that to happen. Which that will be an
Yeah.
epic quarterfinal matchup. That will be
Most
quite the epic matchup.
Most
For sure. One way or another, again, GG well played, and thank you everyone for watching, and
for streaming.
see you all next time. No problem.
Bye for now.
See you all next time. Bye bye.